Hi, how are you guys doing? It's Cinnamon Cooney, your art Sherpa, and I'm so excited to be bringing another fun anyone can paint project to you. Today, we're not even going to use a brush. We're going to use some simple stuff that you have around your house. So get your sponge, get your Q-tips, come back and meet me at this canvas right now. We're going to paint a field of poppies together. So let's go over the materials so you can have a very fun, successful time creating this project at home. I have a 9x12 canvas board. It is pre-gessoed. It doesn't need another thing to be done to it. You could do this on canvas paper. Over here for my no brush painting, I have sea sponges. These are just little sponges that I can paint with. They're a lot of fun. You can get them anywhere. I have bundles of cotton buds, these little cotton swabs, and I bundled them together in different sizes, small and big. I have titanium white, so you're going to need white paint. I have phthalo blue, so you're going to need a blue paint. I have CAD Red Light and Naphthhol Red Medium. You can use Naphthhol Red Light instead. So you just want a dark red and a light red. I have CAD Yellow Medium. HANSA Yellow is a really good exchange for this. Just any yellow you have. And phthalo green. I have some baby wipes to clean myself up. And because it's kind of messy, I'm going to use a rubber glove. But that's not something that you necessarily have to be super concerned about. It does get all over your hands. All right, let's get started on this great project. Put your fabulous rubber glove on if you're trying not to get your hands dirty, which the sponge part of this is a bit messy, though sometimes messy is fun. Take your favorite sea sponge. This one, you can tell from all the paint, is my favorite. Dip it in the water and squeeze the extra water out. I'm going to come to the white paint right here, pull some out, and then I'm going to add some of my blue paint to it. You can see how I'm rolling my sponge, and I'm come right over my canvas, and this is the most fun. I'm going to make little circular and swirl motions, pushing back and forth, letting this be very uneven because this does all the work of painting the sky in for me. This time I'm going to come to my blue and get a little of my white. See there? That's how it looks. And I'm going to just make sure that my canvas is covered with paint. I have little swirls, and then I might squiggle it down. This is very fun and expressive time. Feel like you can be very playful with this. This is definitely not artwork. I'm coming at the bottom. I'm going back and forth. And I'll make some more little interesting swirls here. See how it almost implies that there's clouds? To make that even more fun, I'm going to come get just my white paint. And I'm going to dab, dab, dab my sponge. So it's like this. And I'm going to just dab, dab, dab very lightly. I'm not pressing hard. Maybe a little distant cloud. I can go back and forth if I want to. Just dabbing. Doesn't take a lot to imply a little bit of cloud. I'm going to come up here in the upper left and softly press. I like to rotate my sponge a bit so that I get uneven patterns like clouds like to make. And that helps me, but this is all that takes to do this sky. Maybe rub a little bit down here so there's some distant wispies. Now, I'm going to swirl my brush around on the palette, come over and get some of my phthalo green right here. I'm going to get my phthalo green. I'm going to swirl it around. And then I'm going to come to this lower part of the canvas and just paint it back and forth with the sponge. It doesn't, you'll notice here, it doesn't have to be a perfect line. And if you need to turn your canvas over to get a good angle on it like I do, go ahead and do that. Whoa. Right? See, I'm still getting paint on this hand. All right. So you just have to not make a hill, but you could actually have a hill. This is your painting. Just have some fun with this. Just straight across. There is the field that my flowers are going to be in. It's a good time to put your brush in, not your brush, your sponge, to put your sponge in water and let it soak because you don't want the paint to dry on it. Now I'm going to pull off my rubber glove, right? And I'm going to grab my biggest bunch of Q-tips. I'm going to pick the side where they're flat together. And I'm going to swirl them around in my green paint. And I might even grab a little yellow into that mix. And I'm going to have a blast just making dabs. So you can see why I didn't have to worry too much about that field back there, did I? More yellow. I like to change up the colors of the green that I get by adding yellow or blue. And I'm just pressing these down. I'm just filling up the space with little dot shapes that kind of start to feel like plants a bit. Got some dark green right here. It looks all crazy and hairy, but I don't mind. Just pressing it down. Again, if you need to flip it to get a good edge, do. I'm going to pull some more yellow right here. I've got the yellow right here. Remember, you could be using HANSA. You can use any yellow you have. You can use lots of different materials. I'm using acrylic paint, but you could use other things. So, realize you can have fun with this. Just dabbing down, making a very nice little field that my happy, happy poppies are going to live in. You just have to get this to where you're happy, happy, where you're a happy, happy poppy. All right, flipping it back for a second to look at it. I'm going to put my Q-tips to the side, and I'm going to dry my painting for the next part to put my poppies in, which is literally the most fun. You're going to love doing this. I'm going to come over and I'm going to pick out a bundle of Q-tips. I like to use the 4 Q-tips bundled together for the first selection of them. You can also do one of the 5s if you want to. That's perfectly fine as well. So, that's 6 there. So any of these that you want to do, I'm going to come over to my Naphthhol Red. This is my darker red. So whatever you're painting with, just choose your darker red. And I'm going to load them up. I like to also press my Q-tips flat into, this is palette paper. That's palette paper, and I kind of get that swirled around. Go ahead and grab a little white, because these are distant poppies. And just start putting blooms in your background. See? You can go up into the sky a little bit, not crazy up into the sky, but a little bit up into the sky. You can get a little white. Some of these can be quite light and far away. And you can bring them down a little bit into the green, because sometimes, there's high poppies and low poppies. Also, it's fun to twirl the Q-tips and maybe make some different shapes, like the flowers are on an angle. This is a very impressionist, almost pointless piece, so this is a lot of fun to do. Now I'm going to grab, for some color variants, I'm going to add some of my CAD Red Light. This is my lighter red. You could be using Naphthhol Red Light right here if you can't get CAD Red Light. And I'm going to add a few of these shapes around too, just to make sure that my field of poppies feels full of happy, happy flowers. Now I'm going to grab my bundle of 6 Q-tips, and I'm going to come into here, into my red. I'm going to flip my canvas over so that I have better angle on my press. And I'm going to come over and grab some red. I'm going to avoid this green to get some red. It's loaded on there. And I'm going to make a pretty big poppy right there. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to press these more into a circle. If you need a little more red, get a little more red. I think it's best that they have a couple of tones. And maybe just a press right there. Not all the same size. This one's going to be big, but slightly off the canvas. So the ones up front are bigger. Get some yellow on this one. And the ones that are far away are smaller. Just dabbing these nice round ones here, and that's a nice big poppy. Some different sizes. I'm going to grab maybe some of my dark red here. a nice big one. And it might blend over another one, and I can absolutely layer any way I want. Come back into your light red. A couple off the canvas because this field goes far into the distance. Get some that are, that one's quite yellow, isn't it? Maybe. And I'm going to take some of this yellow right here and shade that. And I'm going to get some dark red, which is right here. I'm going to add some shading to some of my poppies. See? Changing it up. They're not all one color. Look for any little areas you feel like you want brighter spots. When you're happy with that, all you've got to do, and this is really fun, is get one of your bunches of 3. And you're going to take, and this is interesting, your blue, right? This is instead of using black, and your light red. And that's going to make a very dark color. See that color right there? So it's the light red and the blue. And you're going to come in the center of your poppies. The big ones with this big cluster. And give them that nice dark poppy center. Blue, come right here. When I have the big centers done, I'll take one of my individual Q-tips and I'll come get just some of my blue that has the red in it. I like to twirl it and then just make little dots in the center of some of them. See that? Just little dots. For their happy little flower faces. Okay. It's a good time to turn it around and make sure that you're happy with what you have. You can make adjustments with your Q-tip now if you need it. Put a little dot down there, so just balancing that out. You did it! It's time to clean up, pat yourself on the back and go, I did a painting and I didn't even use a brush. I hope you had a lot of fun with this project. I hope you share it with a lot of people. Tell me in the comments below what you might like to see on the channel, and I want to see you at the easel really, really soon. Bye-bye!